Welcome back to my channel, Rose Serpent Oracle. My name is Nela Ma'at. Today we're going to be channeling messages from the ancestors and from the primordial mother. Um, we have the energy, the vibration, the medicine of the hawk spirit animal. And by the way, I was just sitting here connecting with the ancestors and connecting with the feather, and then when I was like look up because I saw a shadow. The hawk is going around. It's a beautiful hawk, a red-tailed hawk. And so we already have messages. You are never ever alone. You're surrounded by support. It is important to follow spiritual guidance. Okay, seek for higher perspective. You are on a journey that requires for you to shift how you perceive yourself, others, the world, and everything else, right? You are being called to expand in your consciousness, to awaken divine perception and divine perspective, to move from feeling victimized into a place of accountability, responsibility, ownership, being someone righteous and honorable. Okay, this is about honoring our ancestors and choosing to continue in our lives from a place where we are honorable people. And it's never about perfection, it's just about cultivating a desire to do what is for the highest good of all and everyone involved, to serve the divine source creator, to give back to the land, to the water, to the animals, to serve others. All right, cool. Oh my goodness. All right, so here we go. Okay, tarot. We're gonna do tarot and oracle. Tarot and oracle. Yeah, okay. We're gonna start with oracle. We want to see what's going on. What is it that you need to know? What are the energies surrounding you? Remember that you're never ever alone. Okay. 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 So we have beautiful energies here. First of all, the ancestors want to talk about the energy of unconditional love, unconditional support, gratitude, compassion, understanding. So lots of green heart chakra. Okay. Healing relationships. For some of you, healing your relationship with yourself. We have the energy of neglected. Okay. Neglected. So we want to bring love, compassion, understanding, acceptance to this aspect of us, right? That experience some kind of emotional neglect. We want to embrace this aspect of us and say, you know what? I see you, I hear you. You are beautiful. You are lovable. There's nothing wrong about you. I don't have to reject you. I have to love you. Okay? So the ancestors are asking you, to sit with this aspect of you. They have experienced some kind of neglect. Okay? Sorry for like repeating myself. Like I said, I just got like tired. We have the energy of devoted. This is pretty beautiful. Devoted to your path, devoted to serve, devoted to your healing, to the land, to nature. I love it. I love those earthy colors. So far we have greens and purples, and now we have like browns and orange and reddish. The next energy we have is risen. So the ancestors are asking you to pay attention to your mental body. What's going on in your mind? What are the stories you're telling yourself? How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about your self-value? How do you feel about giving value to yourself, to what you got to offer to the world? I'm hearing it's important to get out of this idea of perfectionism, or this idea of I have to be some kind of like a checklist, like this picture of, in order to feel valuable. The ancestors are asking you to, to ground unconditional love, acceptance, humility, right? And to empower yourself, to bring self-empowerment. So I feel the energy of courage, of not giving up, the energy of the warrior, right? It takes a lot of courage and strength to sit with this aspect of us that have experienced some kind of neglect. When we're dealing with this energy, we go through periods where we feel very lonely, unseen, unvalued, abandoned, rejected, ugly. And so it is important to unpack the mental body, to go into meeting our inner child and into asking, what are the stories that we have been creating? What are the swords that we keep holding on to, right? And now visualize each sword represents a story that you tell yourself. For example, I will never find love. I cannot trust anyone. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. I have to be like this. Oh, look at them, but look at me, right? It's like placing people in pedestals and then placing yourself like lower. Or for some people, it goes on the other, right? Where, for example, like the person who's a person who's narcissistic have feelings of entitlement, and they wear a mask where they show up to be above, and so they press down on people in order for them to feel better about themselves. But in truth, it's just a facade. It's just a mask. It's very it comes from lacking in neglect. And so I want you to sit with that, because sometimes we kind of dance between those two. Welcome to the human experience, where we have different aspects of ourselves. Anyone can have tendency to be narcissistic. Like, we can also have a part of us that can be manipulative. You know what I mean? And so this is just really about accountability. I always invite people into accountability and like paying attention to the opposites, right? Because we are not just light. We are not just love. Sometimes you have crazy thoughts. Sometimes when you're hurting, when you have been betrayed and abandoned, and you have a part of you that desires payback and revenge and all of the shit, right? And so what I'm saying here is that it's important to create a space where you can unconditionally love and accept yourself. And instead of rejecting your shadow, you want to embrace your shadow. Yeah? Beautiful. I'm going to use the tarot now to see what's going on. What about, speak to me about the elements. What's going on with the elements? What is it that we need to know about the elements? Okay. Pentacles. So we have pentacles. So that's the physical, the material. Okay, we have the cups here. We got the devil, death card, the wands, and the swords. Okay, I got it. So King of Pentacles reverse, bottom of the deck. Okay, that's the material world. So we're walking and moving and working towards our manifestations, right? However, we have Pluto, judgment, with the King of Pentacles, which means that we still are going through a huge transformation. There's more to integrate. There's more for us to see. There's more for us to acknowledge and to work through. And the only way forward is through taking accountability, integrity, honesty, being very raw about where we at and what's going on. Here's the Ten of Swords. You see? Those are the swords. So I can feel and see and acknowledge that, yes, your story is heavy. There's been a lot of pain, betrayal, losses. I see someone having to like move a lot, like moving, like packing your things and having to go. Maybe for some of you, it's about being homeless or living with different families, like, yeah, that. So I can acknowledge there's been pain, losses, betrayals, struggle, a lot of heaviness, a lot to carry, feeling very burdened, a lot of survival here. I feel a lot of survival with the Ten of Swords and then the Devil, right? This is, I know addictions, I know what's overindulgence, escaping, I know abuse, I have experienced abuse, and I have also, to a degree, abused myself by doing many things or trying stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know you, I don't know your life, but there's this energy of, this is the life I know. This is all I know. This is what I grew up seeing. This is what I saw in my family, in my neighborhood. And so, like I said, Pluto here is helping. It's helping you love and acknowledge your shadow. And so you are revisiting the underworld. You have to go and meet with those shadows and integrate them, right? So there's a lot of soul work. Lots of soul work. So that's in the mental body. In the mental body, we still are getting rid of programmings, conditionings, and memories, and stories, and ways of talking to ourselves, self-criticism, punishment, self-punishment, self-abandonment. Okay, we're pulling off those swords, right? In the world, or in our emotional body, we are working through lots of pain related to relationships, family dynamics. Once again, feeling neglected, unseen, unvalued, emotional codependency, financial dependency. And what I see and what I feel is that you are walking away. And for some of you, you have already walked away. I see you also going into the underworld to then check on, okay, what are these cups? Who do they represent? What is in it? And am I ready to like empty the cup and then open myself up to the new? So think of the cups as vessels, right? And every vessel, there's a story, there's a dynamic, there's an addiction, there's a person, there's a relationship, there's disappointment, betrayal, you know what I mean? And so what I see you, and what I feel that is happening within your emotional body is that, like I said, you're working with Pluto, right? Scorpionic energy, transformation. The devil is Capricorn, so we have that is Saturn here. And you are revisiting, taking a look back at the past, going down into the depths of your waters to then feel and heal and transmute and then shift and change your perspective. So we're releasing sadness, disappointment, abandonment, yeah, feeling neglected, unheard, unvalued, being afraid to express how we feel, feeling like we don't belong, nobody understand me. Oh my goodness, you know. And I'm also hearing going through streams. So I see you trying to find some kind of harmony within the relationship with your own emotions, your relationship with others, your relationship with life, your relationship with your finances too. We have the Ten of Pentacles reverse. And then the Eight of Wands. So you're moving forward and towards change. I feel that you're coming into a place of acceptance. I feel that you might be experiencing right now intense emotions, intense situations. You might have some people coming back or some situations that you have to review. Definitely. But I see you doing the work and it feels good, even though, yeah, I can acknowledge that there is discomfort. Once again, our ancestors are saying, you know, it's all about your perception and your perspective. How open are you to shift the devil, right? Think about what's the opposite of the devil, because you have the capacity to be an alchemist, right? That's what an alchemist does, or a magician. Because you're being asked to close a cycle, to close a cycle of feeling and experiencing neglect. Yeah. When looking back at your past, ask yourself, you know, how am I seeing things? How am I judging situations? Through the lenses of victimization, lack, scarcity, blame, self-punishment? Is it through the lenses of accountability, spiritual understanding, right? Spiritual understanding will look like I'm looking back at my family. Let's say I had this pain related to my father. So now I'm looking back at my father. All right, well, I find resentment and pain. At the end of the day, what's under resentment is pain. So I acknowledge there's hurt, there's pain. I might want to say some things that I've been holding on inside for a long time, right? And so, okay, I can speak about that. I can honor it. I will feel it. And then I will say, all right, can I use compassion and understanding? What is the story of my father? Where does he come from? What did he experience in his life? You know, what was his childhood like? And then I'll be like, oh, well, yeah, you know, it makes sense. He experienced neglect too, and so he ended up doing the same thing, right? Neglecting himself, that then causes him to neglect others. You see, this is what I'm talking about. So I see you going deep and working with the different elements, so with your different bodies, right? We have mental body, emotional, physical, spiritual. So it's like, think about like you're going to one, you do the integration, the transmutation of pain, you find the perspective, then you go into the other one, and then you go into the other one. You know, it's just a process. This is why healing takes a lot of time, but it's not linear, and there are layers and layers to our human pain and suffering. We're talking about ancestral healing. Okay. Yeah. So the ancestors, remember, are saying you're not alone. We are with you. Resources will come, because I see that, you know, you will be taking care as you allow yourself to go through this process. There's no way that we can bypass the process. The only way forward is by choosing to confront the devil face forward, right? Which is the lessons that Daddy Saturn or Grandpa Saturn is bringing to us, the lessons that Pluto is bringing to us. And know that, like I said, you're never alone. You're never ever alone. All right, you guys, this has been beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. I'm feeling drained and tired, a little tongue tied. I might have to go and rest. But it's been a pleasure. It always is. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know if this resonated. All right. I see you when I see you. Peace. I'm out.